This video is titled, All of My Students Get Divorced. One of my Kung Fu instructors used to say, all of my students get divorced. The statement sounded odd, because it sounded like he was saying that there was something about him, or about the Kung Fu that he taught, that changed his students so they ended up getting divorced. I never heard the instructor explain why his students always got divorced. If someone asked him straight to his face why the students would get a divorce after they started at his Kung Fu school, the instructor would say, I don't know. But when he made that statement, he had a very big smile on his face. The smile looked like the smile of someone saying, I know, but I am not going to tell you. You figure it out. One possibility that seemed likely was that people who attended this man's Kung Fu school frequently turned into aggressive and touchy individuals. The Kung Fu instructor loved to say that his Kung Fu turned people into real assholes. Maybe the Kung Fu instructor was implying that his students always ended up getting divorced because his Kung Fu turned the students into such assholes that the wives found their behavior intolerable and divorced them. Although that reason sounds good, that was not the reason that the students of this Kung Fu instructor were getting divorced. In order to understand the reason why the students of the Kung Fu instructor always got divorced, some background information is required. Human beings have energy. The energy of a human being is directly related to the health of a human being. A human being with a low energy level will usually be physically and mentally weak. A human being with a high energy level will usually be physically and mentally strong. Any increase or decrease in the energy level of a human being will cause a corresponding increase or decrease in the physical and mental strength of the human being. The energy of a human being behaves like electromagnetic energy. Human energy can travel across empty space like a radio wave or a television signal. A human being can either transmit or receive energy, just like radio transmitters and receivers can transmit and receive radio waves. Electromagnetic energy can be used in many different ways. Electromagnetic energy can be used to transmit visual or audio signals, as in the previous radio and television examples. Electromagnetic energy can also be used to control things. A radio transmitter that transmits invisible electromagnetic energy can control the visible physical actions of a toy car or a rocket ship. Electromagnetic energy can be used to transmit energy to other objects, which increases their energy level, like microwaves increasing the energy level of food in a microwave oven. The reason that the students of the Kung Fu instructor would get divorced was that practicing the instructor's Kung Fu style, or something the Kung Fu instructor said or did to the students, gave the students the ability to sense the energy of other human beings. Why would developing the ability to sense human energy make the students divorce their wives? After learning to sense the energy of other human beings, the students discovered that the women in their lives were sucking the energy out of them, and/or the women were controlling the men, like a radio transmitter controls a toy car. It was previously stated that human beings can transmit and receive energy. Human beings can also suck the energy out of another human being. It was also previously stated that a high energy level was associated with high mental and high physical health, while a low energy level was associated with low physical and low mental health. The implication of those statements is that if one human being sucked the energy out of another human being, the strength of the mental and physical health of the person doing the energy sucking would go up, while the physical and mental health of the person whose energy was being sucked would go down. The ability of human beings to transmit and receive energy can also be used by one human being to control the body of another human being. The controlling human being uses their energy like the radio transmitter of a remote-controlled toy car. The energy of the controlling human being forces the body of the victim human being to perform physical actions that the victim human being cannot stop. The common term for a human being using their energy to control the physical behavior of another human being is possession. It seems obvious why one person would marry another person they could physically control. The controlling person has a slave for the rest of their lives. What would be the benefit, though, of sucking the energy out of someone? The answer to that question has already been stated. It was stated that a person with a high energy level would be physically and mentally strong. It was also stated that when one person sucked the energy out of another person, the energy level of the person doing the energy sucking would go up. The reason one person would suck the energy out of another human being is that when the energy level of the person doing the energy sucking goes up, their physical and mental health level also go up. Sucking the energy out of another human being keeps the person doing the energy sucking in a state of youthful health. The students of the Kung Fu instructor always ended up getting divorced because they realized that as the victim whose energy was being sucked, they would be in a perpetual state of poor physical health for as long as they were married. Their low energy level from being energy sucked would make them more prone to experience mental problems, and they would be more likely to age and die prematurely.